special economic zones where we will invite investments from all over. So hence, provided we get our governance structure right, CPEC is a great opportunity for Pakistan.
And actually, that leads to my second question, that this whole collaboration with China, how can it help Pakistan bring more international investors?
Well, simply because China, A, is a huge market. Secondly, the CPEC is this route which connects us, China, right down to Gwadar. So we have all this opportunity with these special economic zones to invite people. It gives a great opportunity for investment. And remember Pakistan's strategic position. It is sitting next to two of the biggest markets, India on one side, China there, and then of course, inshallah, when peace returns to Afghanistan, then we have this all the way to Central Asia. So Pakistan is strategically probably one of those countries blessed. It is placed in one of the great positions in the geography of the world.
And actually, I would like to comment on this point, but because rightly so, like Pakistan is very well placed to connect Central Asia, Middle East, China, and the Eastern markets. Do you have a plan to leverage on that natural advantage?
The plan is to create the enabling environment in Pakistan so that we can attract investors. Not just foreign investors, not just overseas Pakistani investors, even our own investors who, unfortunately, because of our poor governance system, were not really investing in Pakistan. We didn't even give them enough incentives, and I'm talking about Pakistani investors. So we are restructuring our duty structure. We are our tax incentives. We are restructuring everything so to incentivize people to invest.
What are the sectors that you think investors would be more interested in Pakistan?
Minerals. There are a vast amount of mineral wealth lying in Pakistan. Coal. We have one of the biggest coal reserves in the world. We have copper reserves, one of the biggest copper reserves, zinc. We have a lot of areas of gas which have not been explored at all. But then we have tourism. You see, Pakistan is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Pakistan starts with alpine in the north. We have alpine climate. And then from the highest, which is the second highest mountain in the world, which is K2, we go on to the sea. We have 12 climatic zones on the way. So we have, tourism has exploded in Pakistan. Our infrastructure cannot cope with the tourists. So that's one of the biggest opportunities to invest in our country. And then we have three types of tourism. We have religious tourism. North of Pakistan was the center of the Buddhist civilization. We have the oldest civilization in the world, which is the Indus Valley civilization in Mohenjo-daro. Peshawar is one of the oldest living cities in the world, 2,500 years old. Lahore, also one of the ancient cities. So Pakistan is a diverse country. It's unfortunately because of the war on terror, last 13, 14 years, we had this turmoil where tourism disappeared. But in the last 2 years, we have all records of tourism have been broken in our country. So that's a great area to invest.
So you've mentioned 2 points, tourism and energy. You've spoken enough about tourism and what should happen and how the investment should be. But on
housing is also, of course, 5 million houses we are building. That's another area we're expecting investment from abroad.
Let me talk about energy, because I think finding sustainable fuel and gas supply by investing in Pakistan's own production is vital for your economy. What's your plan to reducing energy dependency and really inviting international investors and local investors to invest in that particular field?
You see, we have hardly had any investment in our mineral resources. And one of the reasons, as I said again, in the last 15 years, was this war on terror, where we became the center of 13 terrorism, suicide attacks, and so investors would not come to Pakistan, then all records of tourism have been broken in our country. So that's a great area to invest.
So you've mentioned 2 points, tourism and energy. You've spoken enough about tourism and what should happen and how the investment should be. But on
housing is also, of course, 5 million houses we are building. That's another area we're expecting investment from abroad.
Let me talk about energy, because I think finding a sustainable fuel and gas supply by investing in Pakistan's own production is vital for your economy. What's your plan to reducing energy dependency and really inviting international investors and local investors to invest in that particular field?
You see, we have hardly had any investment in our mineral resources. And one of the reasons, as I said again, in the last 15 years, was this war on terror, where we became the center of terrorism, suicide attacks, and so investors would not come to Pakistan. Then we had last 10 years very poor governance, corruption. We did not give enough incentives for investors to come to our country. Now, thanks to our security forces, our intelligence agencies, Pakistan has controlled terrorism. It's within Pakistan now, we have really clamped down on terrorism. It's very secure. We still have problems, terrorism coming from Afghanistan, but that's why we are hoping that these peace talks, hopefully peace talks between Taliban and the Americans, we hope that once Afghanistan settles, then not only will there be no terrorism within Pakistan, but then we have this access all the way to Central Asia. So we did not have investment coming into gas, into other minerals, because we had turmoil in our country. Now with peace and stability, we have people coming in. We have some of the big giants in the energy sector now showing interest. In fact, in December, I think Exxon is coming in Pakistan. They're coming back to Pakistan. And also we want to give incentives for the people in the investors in the energy sector to come and invest in our country.
Your Excellency, from here, from the FII, what message do you want to give the world about Pakistan?
The message is that Pakistan is a country with great potential. In the 60s, Pakistan was growing faster than almost any country in Asia, and that's because we had the best governance system. We unfortunately lost our way. In the 80s, we ended up in what was the Afghan Jihad. We then had remnants of the Afghan Jihad throughout the 90s. 9/11, post 9/11, we suffered from terrorism. And then our governance system also, unfortunately, did not enable us to attract investment. Now, Pakistan, in my opinion, is ready. I repeat, the biggest resource in Pakistan are the 100 million Pakistanis below the age of 35. It's a huge potential in the country. We have a diverse, mineral-rich country, one of the most fertile lands in the Indus Valley Basin. So today, the country stands where it is probably right now is the best time for investors to come to our country.
Thank you very much. I'm going to open the floor now for some questions. We've got around 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, please just mention your name and your institution. We've got some mics.
I think I was very comprehensive.
We've got so many questions. Can we just pass the mics, please?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency, welcome to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, welcome.
Saudi Arabia businessmen are really very much looking at investment opportunities in Pakistan. We have a lack of information. I think we need to strengthen the economic section of the Pakistani embassy in Saudi Arabia so that the Saudi businessmen have full information. We believe, from our experience, with the expertise of Pakistanis working in Saudi Arabia, who really shared with us our experience of development, they really show a potential to build a great country in Pakistan, like helping us to build a great country in Saudi Arabia. So we are looking forward to get more information about Pakistan because many Saudi businessmen are interested for investment in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you. I have spoken to His Highness Prince Salman, and he is already organizing businessmen from Saudi Arabia to come to Pakistan to invest. So we look forward.
Okay. I'll take 2 more questions. Okay.
Hi Imran, I'm Bikram from Tech Mahindra. Very inspirational talk. You did mention about 100 million people below the age of 30. And you mentioned about minerals and oil and gas. Don't you think information technology also could be an avenue for Pakistan?
Yes, Vikram. Information technology could be one area where we could not only improve our exports, but also provide employment to our young people. Unfortunately, we did not concentrate like India did in information technology. We've got left a bit behind, but now we are concentrating, organizing our IT sector so we can develop it. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Khan Saab. My name is Kashif Khan. I'm a private equity and investor from the Middle East. My question to you is, a lot of investors have invested previously in the past into Pakistan economy. The biggest challenge they have is exiting out of those investments. How this government will facilitate the previous investors to exit, which will give more confidence to the future investors?
Well, Kashif, I have my team here. Our chairman of Board of Investment is here, our finance minister, our commerce minister. The whole idea is, in Pakistan right now, is how to make it easier for people to invest, the ease of doing business. We are already working on it, trying to remove all impediments. In fact, we are now about to develop a one-window operation for investors, that anyone who wants to invest in Pakistan, he will just be able to contact one point where they can contact, and any problems they are having, we will remove. So we are now determined that the only way the country can go forward and we can provide employment to this young population is by helping the investors. And you will find things improving by the day.
So we will have one more question before we wrap up.
खान जो कि सवाल और जवाब के सेशन में गुफ्तगू कर रहे थे और उनसे मुख्तलिफ सवालात किए गए। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान का मज़ीद ये कहना था कि चीन पाकिस्तान के लिए एक बहुत बड़ी मार्केट है।
इसके साथ ही 12 बजे के बुलेटिन में इतना ही।
मज़ीद खबरों और अपडेट्स के लिए न्यूज़ के साथ रहिए।